My YouTube was not working. Great. Now it is. Alright, sorry everyone. Looks like YouTube had a little glitch, but I am on live here. It's PacProFX. And I do have my members on the Gilded and Discord platform. And we're just going over some charts. Happened to notice that the YouTube stream was not working properly. So, if you have any questions, please type it in on the chat and request your request there. Alright, guys. Let's see what else we have here. Mukan, you said what happens if it goes all the way up for a pullback? Which chart was that? Mukan, are you there? You in the woods again? I don't know which chart you were talking about. I think it was talking about probably Euro USD here. That's just a regular pullback. I mean, it could pull back more. It doesn't have to do 618 all the time. So it could pull back more if it wants to. But because of the weakness, I don't think it's going to pull back that much. Alright. Yana has, what if it's a wave 4 down? I'm sorry, what pair were you talking about, Yana? USD JPY. Well, this could be the end of 5, but like I said, I'll be very disappointed if that's the end of a whole bunch of 5 waves. I mean, when you have a whole bunch of waves that are ending, you have a very large wick. So I don't think it's done yet. Extend wave 3 a bit more. This move will be 4, and we expect low 5. Yeah, it's just doing this regular pullback. Like, again, this is a triangle, so it's trying to do something. Whatever it did, it was probably counteracted because you see these nice round price action on the you see them all around here. These roundness. This is actually, institutions getting in or getting out. So they're slowly getting out of their buy trades and taking profit, and they have to hide themselves in the chart. By law, they cannot make themselves, an obvious move. If they do, they get fined. But you know what? Doesn't mean they can't do it. Some people just do it and then just deal with a fine. But why should they? I mean, if they do their thing and hide themselves in here, then they don't have to lose any money on fines. So it's not like they're going to give the retail traders their money back or anything. So it just ends up being like a ticket that doesn't do anyone any good. Alright. Let's see what else here. let me look at my new dashboards. And dashboards that I have just show all the pairs. I'll just show it to you. So here's this is my U.S. dollar dashboard. So looking at them, I can see if there's anything that we need to look at. The dollar and the Dixie are behaving correctly, so they're in sync pretty much. The pound is doing exactly what the U.S. dollar and Dixie are doing in reverse, right? So the Euro USD is the reverse of the Dixie, so they should be pretty much almost exactly the same, but in inverse. So there you go. Not much movement. I think really they're just waiting for these speeches to come around. And then let's look at my other dashboard with the JPY, the Japanese yen. So the first two on the left are the basket and the world currency unit. And if you can see, they're pretty much a little bit in sync as well. Not too much difference here. This one pulled back quicker than the basket. But other than that, everything looks pretty normal. I don't know why I have two baskets. Which one am I missing here? Pound. Pound JPY. There you go. So basically the JPY is moving all this. You can see that it's similar to the New Zealand, and these should not have any correlation whatsoever, and including the Swiss franc here. So this whole move here is all the yen making these moves here, because it's on every single one of them pretty much. Even this one. Even the CAD. So that move is all the yen moving it. So it's an inverse to the yen, to the left two. There. So maybe the yen, that's what it is the yen is taking a little breather, and then it might move back up again. We'll see if it moves down. Then look at the world currency unit. You can see that if it moves down, you'll have a head and shoulders here. So if this moves down, either it will fail and go up, or if not, it will take advantage of the head and shoulders and then basically move further down and then reset to go back up again. So we'll see which path it takes. It could also just go up from here, and then this will be negated, and this will be negated too. So the other option would look like this. Which happens time to time, so you get this and push back up. Especially if a triangle forms right here, to be a bull flag, then it pops right back up. So we could also see that on the Japanese yen basket and well, currency unit, you start seeing a triangle here, more than likely the end result will be a pop upwards, and then you know how to trade all the other pairs downwards. Alright. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hi Chucks. You would like to any idea on Euro JPY? Oh yeah, sure. Let's take a look at it. It's Yana's favorite pair as well, so I'm sure she'll be very, very happy that we're going over it. All right, let me actually go over this here with my new setup here. So bear with me. This setup is actually saving me a lot of time, so I'm able to adjust these charts and get the charts out to you even multiple times per day, updated. So it's just the quantity of charts is the issue, slowing me down. But other than that, now the charts are actually a little bit easier because I don't have to redo them every single time. So this is the monthly chart since day one, and here's one thing that I did was I took and from 1972 or beyond, I actually started the Elliott wave format to find out exactly which wave we really are on. Okay, and if we just skip to now, we did a corrective ABC wave here, and now we're in a just a plain old motive wave, 5 waves. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now in the 5th wave here, and you would see that by going to the smaller charts, you have another 5 waves in here. So let's switch over to, that's a monthly. Let's switch over to a weekly. See if we see anything more. So this is the 5th wave. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that was expected, this move here for the JPY. And looks like we could be done. And then we'll move up for wave 5. Alright, let's go down to the daily time frame. Here it is again. These are hand drawn, these are not computer drawn, so you do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe we'll actually go down a little bit more. So this could pull back a little bit more. Let's see if it does, which I think it will. It'll probably pull back to here. So your target right now could be somewhere around here. 134, 500 area, I think will be better. There you go. And this is a typical drop formation. You literally can measure these candles here and stick it on top of this one here, and there's your target. So pretty confident that this will happen. Higher probability it will. So that's a good one. And then basically we'll turn around and go up here, and that would satisfy the 5 waves of the wave 4, and then basically pull back up here, 150 area. You're welcome. And let's go down to 4 hour just real quick. Won't be anything different. I was floating around the head and shoulders. So we were thinking this is a inverse head and shoulders. It may still play out, and it still will bring price back up here somewhere. So it would be just another reason why this would actually work, because now it did print a head and shoulders down here. But if it doesn't and it keeps on going down a little bit more, then it's not an issue. It'll still be a head and shoulders and still go back up. But it's not a really clear one. So I don't want to rely on a very unreliable pattern like the head and shoulders. So I'd rather just rely on the waves. They're much more easier to see. So we have a long way for that to go. So, but the daily shows it a little bit better. All right, let me close these out. Just so that we make more room here. We're looking at that. Okay, here's the GPY. It hit down here, and then it just bounced up last night. So that was perfect. And it did its 1-2, so it's still in the wave 3. So it's still going to head up higher. This is just a regular pullback. It's nothing major, as expected. US dollar. So, yeah, that Elliott wave cheat sheet, it does say that wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave, right? However, what that cheat sheet doesn't add to it is a few exceptions. Okay, first of all, if your 5-wave pattern is really a zigzag, a flat zigzag, in other words, if your 5-wave pattern looks something like this, and even though it may look like just a regular 5 waves, because if you count them, it'll just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But take a look at what happens when that happens. When it happens, wave 4 goes into the area of wave 2. So that is a no-no on that cheat sheet. Okay. Sometimes wave 3 becomes smaller, the smallest one. And if not, it's an equal 1, 2, 3, and 5. So what happens is they didn't say that excluding zigzags. So that was kind of like, left out of the exceptions rules. So there's a few things that are exceptions to the rules, and some of those that I've seen that they have a 5-way pattern, and then they kind of look like they go to the side, and I called it that basically it was like kind of leaning, you know, and sometimes 4 goes into the area of this. More than likely, if you look at it a little closer, it's actually a zigzag that's leaning, and that's why these things still work out, because the neckline is actually diagonal instead of being horizontal. So if you were get some of this out of here. So normally you're looking for, horizontal stuff, right? But if you take this pattern and you kind of make it a curve, then basically your necklines are going to be horizontal. And that's another thing to try to explain on a cheat sheet like that. I mean, you could write a book just on that, pretty much alone. So I think the purpose of that cheat sheet was to just get everyone kind of like 85 to 90% there, and then basically they pretty much said, well, all those other little times that it doesn't work out, we'll just let them think about it. But in actuality, there are exceptions and other reasons why the Elliott waves don't work out, but they have a reason. There is a reason for them, and it's usually because it's not a 5-way pattern. I mean, you're looking at the cheat sheet and it says a 5-way pattern, but they didn't tell you about zigzags. I mean, it's there. There's a zigzag there, but it's like more of a corrective wave thing. But they don't tell you, that, oh, this is what happens when you have zigzags. So I think I'm going to write a new cheat sheet. That one was the one from TradingView, but either I'll write a supplemental to that one. I might do that, so this way you'll have the supplemental, and rather than reinventing the wheel. But we'll see if it's going to be clear to everyone about what's really happening. So I think I'm probably going to have to write another cheat sheet, maybe put it on the other side of it, so this way you can print it on one sheet and then have double-sided, and one side will have the original cheat sheet, and then the other side will have all the additional information, like with zigzags and everything. Yeah. So Euro JPY in a daily. Yeah. In actuality, you may have all this here may be a huge zigzag. So again, that's what negates all this here, because see, you have a pattern here but on a smaller scale, but in reality you have a zigzag pattern. See, so that's why this can go into a wave 4 that easy. It's not an excuse. It's depending on what kind of waves you're looking at. So If you're looking at 5-wave patterns, a real 5-wave, like, a small 1, 2, and then a big 3, a 4, and a 5, which is the normal, then you have no problem. That LE wave cheat sheet works fine. But if you have a zigzag pattern where, the 1, the 3, and the 5 wave motor waves are exactly the same length or pretty similar, and the corrective waves are similar length as well, then that you have a zigzag pattern. And if you think about it, you're going to have one area go into the other. And of course, that would negate the Elliott wave cheat sheet because it's not a 5-way pattern, it's a zigzag. And by the way, zigzag happens. It can happen on any wave, including corrective. Most of the times, it happens on the motive waves, and a lot of times it happens on the 5th wave, which is the 5th wave here. So it just the probabilities are always there, right? All right, so let's drop back to 4 hour here. I guess I'll include all that what I just said about the probabilities on the cheat sheet as well. All right. USD CAD breaking out, retested, and now pulling away. Very good. I like how it did this little ABC retest. So it broke out, did an ABC retest, and now it's pulling away. And target price will be the 130822 area. And then it'll pull down for a wave 4 and a wave 5. Okay, Australia USD. Oh, let's see. This is wave 4, 1. I don't know why I went up to here. Let's see. Does it show up better on the smaller time frame? Oh yeah, it does. That's why. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually, this might be all of 4 here, and we're still going to be doing a 5. So everything just gets moved over. Sure it's clear for everybody. And it's going to hit this trend line here, so that's the area that we're looking for. And then you wait for pullbacks in order to go up from here, okay? And don't forget, it's going to be a brand new 5-wave pattern, so it's going to have a 1 and a 2 pullback, and then a 3, right? So you can just wait until 2 is done and then get in. Be safer. Otherwise, you're just going to see your money go up and down. I think this 4 wave might pull up a little bit more. Probably literally up to here. We'll take this away because they're getting away from me. I was trying out the long and short positions that are on TradingView, trying to see how that would fit our charts here. And honestly, I'd rather not put them on there. So I'll find another way of identifying trades, potential trades. This corrective wave here is typical A, B, C of A, and you have an A, B, C, of B, and did I draw that right? Hold on, let's do it again. So it's basically an A, oh, did it again, an A, a B, and a C. And then once it's done up here, then it'll start its wave 5. Well, Andy, I'm actually recording this for YouTube. The YouTube didn't start for a little while in the beginning, so I don't know why it didn't start with my program, but it's been on for I don't know, maybe an hour or two. Let's see. Yeah, an hour and 10 minutes. So you can play back an hour 10 minutes after I upload it. No worries. I thought it was working. I mean, I brought it up and everything said fine. You know, everything was exit connection, and I don't know what happened. So. All right. See how gold is doing throughout the whole night here. Well, it's on its way. Yep. So it's definitely pulling down. It's having a lot of problems. Look at this, man. These candles are wicked. But pulling down. Hesitant, but it's pulling down. I do see that it will pull up after this. So it didn't have enough energy to go all the way up here. So it looks like it's very bearish. But I think it will spring back and then come back down again. And I think I have, it'll go into the 1620s area eventually. Oops. Look at that. Pound Japanese yen. Okay, so there it goes. That was the pullback, and now it's pulling back down again. And to complete this wave 3 here, and then I'll do 4 and 5. All right, I'll stay on the sessions if there's activity, but since today there is a lot of speeches that are coming up, there seems to be not so much activity. So let's go over the economic calendar again, because I did that earlier, and but there was only a few people here early. So let's go over that again. So today was Tuesday, and early in the morning we had the Germany numbers. They came in really bad. So minus 53, off by 22.6 from forecasted. So they were forecasted to be negative, but they were even more negative, like almost twice as much. So that's pretty bad that their economic sentiment is bad. I heard it was on the trading channel, I think it was, that Germany is going to have severe problems in the industrial part. So the industrial of Germany's, they require a lot of power, right? So fuel, oil, and everything else to power their factories. And because of the Russia oil issue and everything else, gas issue, they're saying that a bunch of their factories are going to have to either do some rotating outages, so that this way not all factories can be on at the same time, or in some situations the factories will not be able to operate just because they don't have enough fuel to power the factory. So that's probably why the economic sentiment is that bad, because they're already building that in. The sentiment coming up is really bad because it looks like they're going to have to reduce their production, industrial production, and that brings money into the euro economy. So that's probably why the euro is tanking so much, because it's coming, and they know it's coming, and this will totally mess up Germany and the euro. And since Germany is the kind of the head on that one, you're hitting the biggest economy in the eurozone, so not good. All right, so next ones, we had some U.S. ones, but I don't know. I don't see them here for 6 a.m. So they're not there. There's some small ones coming in here. Energy outlook, not too big of a deal. But then you have the board members Balt's speech for Germany at 9:30, so that's in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then you have Bailey's speech, which is the biggest one right here, and that's in about 2 hours and 45 minutes from now. And depending on what this clown says, is going to depend on probably what the pound and the euro are going to do. Because if the pound is affected by something that's widespread, then the euro will get affected as well with it. They've been kind of moving in tandem, right? So since the euro is going down, the pound is going down. Well, the pound's going down too. Now the euro's going down. So they're both going down. They're both helping each other down the stairs. So it's pretty much that bad. We have some more Germany information tonight, Tuesday night, about 15 hours from now. And then we have all this pound GDP and everything else also right before London session opens again for Wednesday. So this is already, the numbers are almost the same. Their GDP looks like getting better, but the numbers might get better only because the last number in the 12th month is falling off. It doesn't mean that the GDP is getting better month over month for like the last month. It just means that the 12 months ago, because the GDP month over month is actually a year, right? It's an average over a whole year. So the last GDP month is falling off, and that was probably a good month or a bad month maybe, and that's pulling up the percentage of the forecast. So that might be smoke and mirrors. It might seem like it's getting a little bit better, but it's not. And when you get the real numbers, then you'll see that it may not be getting better. And then on Wednesday morning, we have USD core CPI numbers. And then we have the Canadian bank interest rate first thing in the morning on tomorrow morning. On Wednesday morning. So 13th of July is full of different events. So be careful you're trading on Wednesday. Let's just say this. I don't expect the CPI numbers to be better. And actually, if you see it, the CPI is lower than, the forecast is lower than previous. So, except for the year over year, which is basically an average. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The Bank of Canada interest rate, I foresee that they're going to at least bring it up by 0.5%, but I think they may do it by 0.75, but you know what? I think they're too conservative to do something like that. I don't think they have enough cojones to actually do a 75 basis point, because they're just really, really conservative. And the other reason why they probably will not do the 75 basis point hike is because Bank of Canada has been printing money like crazy, and they don't need to go to extremes on the interest rate hike, because all they need to do is just speed up the printing of money. They devalue their currency every time they do that, so they're ending up like the Japanese yen in a different way. The Japanese yen, because they're not increasing interest rates, their currency is getting devalued. But then Canada, it will increase interest rates, but if they print money, too much money, then basically they devalue their currency anyway. So it's the same effect. So either way, I think it's going to be. It might be a positive for Canadian, but I think a lot of it's already built in. Okay, so just be careful with that one, because this has been talked about for a month. About that they even knew a month ago that they were going to have a 50 basis point at least increase. So it's not new news. The market's already expecting it. It's probably already built. It's probably already baked in. So it's all about what they say afterwards, right? All right. Alright, does anyone else have any questions? You can see that everything just kind of slowed down right now, because everything is just waiting for speeches now. So this is going to be quiet time until people speak. It's about 2 hours, 3 hours, and then things will head up again. So looks like about 9:30, 10 o'clock, things will start to move again, and then we can go on from there. But I'm going to drop off. If there's no questions, I'll take any questions you guys have right now, if you like, anywhere on YouTube and wherever. Yana's typing away here. Yeah, it's a pity the Euro JPY refused to go up. I'll tell you what. I'll call the pit boss and the New York and the Chicago Board of Exchange, because that's where that is. And I'll tell them about the Euro JPY, right? Tell them, hey, listen, Yana's upset. You know what's gonna happen now, right? Alrighty. Alright, guys. I will see you for London session tonight. If something comes up on the USA session after all these speeches happen, I might chime in here for a little bit. But other than that, we'll see you at London session. So, Mukan, one more question. Do you think we can see a big pullback for pound JPY going all the way up to 164? Well, I think you'll see more than 164. I think you'll see like 175 eventually, but I think you'll still have to see this go down to 155 first. Okay, and if you see the actual chart, you'll see why. So this is a little consolidation area, and what you see here. Okay, throwing these things away. What you see happening here is just a little consolidation area, and what you see is a megaphone, right? Or a widening wedge pattern, and it seems like price is curving upwards on this one. So it's taking the high road. After reaching this area, price may actually end up falling again. It may. And I think it will, because it's been pushed up so much here. I think price will fall down again. So that will be dependent on the JPY getting stronger here. And then for some reason, or, the JPY getting stronger. Let me do that again. The JPY getting stronger here, and then weaker here, and then strong again. And that kind of fits the bill. Because I think that's exactly what the JPY is going to do, and this is a daily chart, okay? Alrighty.
Do you think after the speech, pound and gold will go down again, because they're doing the consolidation right now?
I think gold will go down no matter what. The whole part of Germany and a few other countries not getting, or they're getting cut off of energy supplies from Russia, and then basically that impacts their industrial production, and then that impacts the GDP of the countries. That also impacts gold. So if countries don't make products to sell, gold is affected by that. Gold is only going to go up if the economies are strong. The economies are weak, gold starts to go down. And that's where we're seeing, right? We're seeing gold going down for the past few months. And it's going to go down even more as soon as UK announces that the recession is going to happen this quarter. And it's going to be going down more when the ECB also acknowledges that they're in a recession as well. And, gold has been inflated too much. And when oil gets affected by it, oil goes down in price, because now there's not too much demand. I mean, there is demand, but there's not enough supply. It's really weird. It's not even supply problems. It's distribution problems, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not
India
like
has a problem. So
yeah, it's not like there's not enough oil. There's enough oil. There's not like there's enough customers for oil. It's just that the oil moving around the whole entire world is a problem, right? So
yeah.
it's really not a supply demand issue. It's really a distribution issue.
Do you think this lockdown in China affected the markets?
I heard that they're just sporadic, right? So they're pretty much localized, the lockdowns.
Yeah.
Only it will only affect them if their lockdowns are in major industrial areas. If there's any lockdowns in areas that make product to be exported, then that will affect the numbers. But otherwise, it won't affect it too much because
Thank you.
other areas of China are functioning.
Yeah.
And because
Excellent.
China automatically sets the rate of the yuan to the U.S. dollar daily, so they can do whatever they want, to fix that. It's almost manipulation in its purest form.
Yeah.
I think gold will go up a little bit before it goes down. It's going down to the level that we saw earlier. So it's going down to the 1711. I think it'll move back up higher. Believe it or not, I think it can even go up to the 1790 range area. And then I think it'll just fall right down to the 1620 areas.
To be honest, since 7 this morning, London time, it's had all the potential to go up. It's not going up. It's
No.
just, it goes up a little bit and then the sells are just mad.
Yeah, it's
There's
just
more pressure on
it's
sales.
just deflated, and it's deflated because if things don't move in the economy, this is what happens to gold. It just
Yeah.
blah, and it just kind of falls. That's what it looks like,
Yeah.
right? It looks like it just stepped over and fell on itself. So
Yeah.
that's what it does.
That's all I've been doing, just waiting for the highest and going back down the drop, selling.
Yeah, yeah. I think it will go up because of the fear of recession, right? So once the euro and the UK announced that they're in recession, and maybe the US, as well, then basically gold price will go up, and then all of a sudden after everything just kind of evens out, and then you know that's old news,
Uh,
recession, then I
I'm
think
still
that's when gold will
using
go down.
still using your chart, so
Yeah.
doesn't need updates, right?
No, not right now.
You've done all those lines based on the news coming and everything, right?
Yep, yep.
There you go.
I mean, unless new news comes out, so. But gold is severely manipulated by these market these money managers, and don't forget, when you have times of fear, right? And so, for example, here's what's not built into this: if the stock market takes a dump, one day this week, which I think you'll see a pretty bad uh, drop in the U.S. stock market one day this week. I'm not sure when, but it just looks like it's gearing up for it. Especially the Dow and S&P. The Nasdaq has already dropped a lot. The Nasdaq is way off. It's way further down than the other two, and they usually all come down together. But like, for example, yesterday's numbers, the Nasdaq went down like 2 point something percent down, and the other ones were not that far off from the opening. So how can that be? The only thing I could think of is that the Nasdaq went ahead of the other two, and had been going ahead of the other two, and there's a huge drop coming for the S&P and the Dow. So you'll probably see that this week, I'm sure. I'm not sure what will drive it, but something will tick it off, and then basically you will see a something more than 1,000-point drop in the Dow. You probably see S&P something like close to like 300, 400 points off. And if they're playing nice, if they're going to play nice with the the markets, the indexes, then what they'll do is they'll spread it out between a couple days, because you got earnings season coming out now, right? So if the earnings come out bad on these companies, it's going to tank. I just don't see Apple and Microsoft, well, maybe Microsoft a little bit, but I don't see Apple making, all-time highs on earnings. Is everyone running out to go and get an Apple phone? And actually, I think they just moved their virtual reality goggles. They were supposed to come out end of this year. It was supposed to be announced sometime soon. And I think that they just postponed it to next year. So now you're taking that revenue out of the stream. And I just don't, I don't think they're going to make their numbers this time. If they do, they just barely will. And their forward-looking guidance will be slashed because of things like this here. I think they just got, they're just getting everyone ready for that. And that's why they announced that their virtual reality goggles will be going out next year. Supposedly that's something that is supposed to drive some sales for Apple. They're looking for other things now. Their phones are not enough. Their computers are not enough. The Macs are not enough. So they're looking for, something else. Yeah, an Apple car. Yeah, Alexa is Buick, right? On the commercials. So we need an Apple one. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I'll be in London session tonight, but I'll also be in London session on my regular scheduled time on Thursday. So meet me for London session. I will schedule it on YouTube and everything. And I'll also make sure that the events are posted and gilded in Discord for everybody. And for anyone on YouTube, if you would like to subscribe, you can go over to www.PacProFX.com. I have premium subscriptions that my members are members of, and you can subscribe to one of the packages, and you can get a lot of information. All the charts that I go over, they're literally available to all my members, and this is how easy it is. They just click an FX area here, and all their charts are listed right here. And that's just for all the Forex. And they can just get to wherever they want. Great British Pound, USD, click on here. There you go, that's the 4-hour chart. And you even have the trading view link. And I also post notes in the chart if there needs to be some notes. Let's say, like for example, here's one that I posted, profitable short entry areas. And if you took this one, that would have been perfect, because you can see that now we're down here somewhere. So that would have been a really good one. And I also cover crypto. I do cover oil, gold, silver, copper, and WTI as well, and the major indexes as well. And everyone that's a premium member gets all access to all this information. And you have to be a premium member in order to get that. And I do have all this information on both Gilded, and I also have a Discord server. So all this information, again, is also available on Discord. If you prefer Discord, then you got your Discord. And all the charts are here available for you. And I do add a lot of notes that I'm going to be adding every time I add a chart. So again, that That's www.PacProFX.com. All right, guys. See you next time.